Greetings, my beautiful lovelies. It's Emmy. How are you? It's great to see you and welcome back. Today I'm going to be finally tackling a recipe that I've been thinking about for quite a while. I know I've said this and I've said this before, but I truly have been thinking about this recipe for chocolate chip cookies for a very long time, and I will prove it to you. But first, let's step back a little bit. Chocolate chip cookies, by the way, are my favorite cookie. Whenever I go into a bakery, all I often want is just a really simple, freshly baked chocolate chip cookie. For me, essential things for chocolate chip cookies are buttery flavor. It must have butter in it. I must taste the butter. It's just so important to me. That's how I feel about brownies as well. It should have a good concentration of chocolate. I prefer kind of a softer middle, kind of crisp edges are nice, a little bit of chew is nice, but ultimately I think what I want is it to be freshly baked because that's the best way to have it. It doesn't necessarily have to be warm, but freshly baked. You know, day-old cookies, you just know they're day-old, especially chocolate chip. I don't know, they just don't taste as good. Call me a snob, but I like what I like when it comes to chocolate chip cookies. So that is why I'm so excited to finally tackle this particular chocolate chip cookie recipe. And it comes from lovely Jacques Torres. Now, if you don't know Jacques, he is wonderful. I don't personally know him myself, but I grew up watching him on PBS with my mother and my brother, and he had this really great show all specializing in chocolate making, and he would do all these wonderful magical things. It was called Le Cirque, and it was such a wonderful show because he made chocolate making seemingly accessible, even though it's very difficult tempering chocolate and molding it and making it into eggs and bunnies and all this. He made it look so simple, even though it is not. So he is certainly an expert when it comes to chocolate making and baking, and so another reason why I'm excited about this recipe. And so I heard about this recipe, Jacques Torres' famous chocolate chip cookie recipe, several years ago. People rave about it, but one thing that people kind of complained about was that you had to wait 24 to 36 hours. I'm going to do the full 36 hours, by the way, because I want these to be the perfect Jacques Torres cookies. But yes, people said, why do you have to wait that long? Well, there's a method in the madness. The long resting time, 24 to 36 hours of the dough resting in your refrigerator, allows the flour to completely absorb all the liquid that is in the dough so it can fully hydrate. It also allows the dough to dry out a bit so that when you bake the cookie, they brown up nicely. Plus, the flavors have time to melt together. It's supposed to taste better, it's supposed to have a better texture, a chewier cookie, and it's supposed to look better. It's supposed to brown nicer. And Jacques says so, and I trust Jacques because he is an expert and I am not, and I trust his expertise. So I have Jacques Torres' recipe here. It was published in the New York Times, I believe in 2016, and this has, as of today, 14,509 people have rated this and given it 5 stars. Sounds good enough for me. So let's go ahead and make this. And one more thing to prove to you that I've been thinking about this recipe for a long time. I have official Jacques Torres' chocolate fèves, chocolate wafers, dark chocolate, the one that he recommends for the recipe that I purchased. I just opened this. This is wrapped in plastic. It's been sitting in my refrigerator since, oh my goodness. These are Best Buy 2019 of September. I just opened these and tasted them. I'm going to taste one right now. And these are what the wafers look like. They're beautiful. This is beautiful Belgian dark chocolate. And look how flat they are. All right, we're going to eat one. I don't know. It says Best Buy September 2019, but these are delicious. Crisp, has that really great snap that I associate with dark chocolate. Sweet enough, but not too bitter. Beautiful, rich, chocolatey flavor. So let's finally use them in this cookie recipe. I will also put a link in the description to the printable version of this recipe. I've already pre-measured my dry ingredients, and in this bowl, we are going to sift them together. This recipe calls for cake flour, which has a lower protein content than all-purpose flour and bread flour. That usually yields for a more tender cake, but we're using it in our cookie recipe along with bread flour, which is very interesting because bread flour has a higher protein content, usually used for making bread, so that it has a nice chew. So combination of tender flour and firmer textured flour. Add those two flours together. We can add some baking soda, baking powder, salt, and sift that all together. Get rid of any lumps. Okay, now I'm going to switch to my stand mixer. In the bowl of my mixer, I have 2.5 sticks of room temperature butter. And I'm going to fit my mixer with a paddle attachment. Okay, so now we're going to cream the butter along with some brown sugar and granulated white sugar. And we're going to cream this until it's nice and light and fluffy, about 5 minutes. So here we go. White sugar and brown sugar. So it's been 5 minutes and our butter and sugars are nice and creamy and fluffy. Now we're going to add 2 eggs and we're going to mix well in between each addition. Bloop. It's already smelling so good. Another egg. Oops, broke that one on the counter a little bit, but that's okay. Scrape down the sides. Now we're going to add a couple bloops of vanilla extract. Bloop, bloop. Mix well. Oh. I love the smell of vanilla. Okay, next we're going to add our sifted dry ingredients. We're going to mix this on low, just until everything's incorporated. I think I'm going to do this in 2 batches so I don't get flour everywhere. So, besides sourcing the somewhat difficult to find chocolate and using cake flour, this recipe is very, very accessible. Very similar to any other chocolate chip cookie recipe that you might make in terms of mixing and the technique, you know. Oh, we're going to have a long wait, but that's not going to be difficult. Mix again. Slowly. Okay, that's it. We just want to incorporate the flour. We don't want to overmix it at this point. We are now going to add an almost obscene amount of chocolate. Look at this bowl of chocolate. I'd say this is almost, just visually, maybe a 1-to-1 ratio of chocolate to cookie dough. I love this recipe already. Haven't even tasted it. Beautiful chocolate dough. Look at that. Visually, that's almost a 1-to-1 ratio. Chocolate, meat dough. So now it's a matter of just mixing this all up. Look. It's so cute. I've never made chocolate chip cookies quite like this before. Okay, all the way underneath. There's a lot of chocolate, so it is difficult to stir. It's taking such strength to get this dough to mix. Now, the instructions say to scoop this dough out after it's rested for at least 24 hours. But it will be much colder then, and it'll be much more difficult to scoop. So I'm gonna do the scooping now and then let it rest. So now I'm using a ice cream disher scooper, and this is a 3-ounce scoop. It is pretty big relative to my hand. I'd say that's maybe 2 inches across. We're just gonna scoop it out onto our baking pan. Wow, that's gonna be a big cookie. So really pack it in. I'm so excited about this. So excited. Literally years in the making. I've had these in my refrigerator for 4 years. Oh, 3? It's 23. These expired in 2019. Okay. Wowzers. So this recipe is perfect. It makes perfectly 24 perfect 3-ounce balls of cookie dough. It looks perfect on the pan already. I love it. This already makes me so happy. It's not even baked yet. Love it. So now we're going to wrap these up tightly and chill them in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. I'm going to do the full 36 because it's supposed to taste better with more time. The dough is supposed to get merry, happy, fully hydrated flour, and better browning, yada yada. I will see you in 3 days and we will bake these and taste them with a glass of milk or a cup of coffee or something, because this I've been waiting many years for. Alrighty, my lovelies, I'll see you in a few days. Alrighty, my lovelies, it has been 36 hours since I made this beautiful cookie dough. This is Jacques Torres' famous chocolate chip cookies. And now we're finally gonna bake them and give them a taste. So I've got another quarter sheet pan here lined with some parchment paper, and my oven is preheated to 350 degrees. So since these are very large portions, I'm just gonna bake 4 at a time because I don't know how much these cookies are going to spread. So let's account for that by staggering them a little bit, giving them some space. Sprinkle lightly with salt, each cookie. And now we're gonna pop these into the oven and bake them for 18 to 20 minutes. Okay, I'll see you in 20 minutes, bye. You go for 20 minutes. Look how many more balls of dough I have, I'm so excited. Oh, those are looking good, and I'm smelling them. Can you see those? Yo, 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 yo. Alrighty, my lovelies, we are back with the baked and finished cookies. We have waited over 36 hours for this moment, and if we take into account the many years that I've been wanting to make this, it's been probably like 6 years in the making this video, but it's gonna be worth it. My goodness, look at these. I wish you could smell them. It smells so lovely in here. A little bit like an ice cream shop. We've got lots of vanilla going on, tons of butter, and of course chocolate. A couple of these don't have the chips on the top, so they don't look as chocolatey, but look at the bottom. Yeah, that's all chocolate. Look how beautifully they browned up too. Golden on the edges, golden on the top, golden on the bottom, filled with chocolate. So after I took these out of the oven, I let them cool on the pan for 10 minutes on a rack and then scooped them up and placed them on a rack to cool a little bit longer, but I'm going to eat one of these while it is warm because that's, in my opinion, the best way to have a chocolate chip cookie or any cookie warm out of the oven. Jacques says one of the beautiful things about this recipe is that because of the shape of the chips, nice and flat, we should have layers of chocolate between the dough. Let's see if that is true. More. Look, it is just warm and molten. Okay. Oh, this is so hot. This is super warm. It's still fudgy and gooey. Okay. I'm gonna have to break another one once it cools off a bit more, but we definitely have a lot of chocolate in there. I'm making an utter mess. I should have just bit into it. Enough of this nonsense. Let's go ahead and give this a taste. Itadakimasu. So good. Did you hear that crisp edge? The edge of the cookie has a lovely crispness, and the middle is molten and just filled with chocolate, but it's not raw. It's just melted chocolate. interlaced with lovely buttery cookie. Now that was the edge of the cookie, which had a nice crispness to the exterior, while it was soft and molten in the middle. Next, let's try a bite from the middle. Oh my goodness, here we go. So good. It's all about the chocolate. I mean, you have a little bit of the cookie dough kind of holding everything together and butter, but you just have lovely dark chocolate. Not too bitter, lovely amount of sweetness, lots of chocolate flavor. And that salt on the top really is nice as well. It really enhances the chocolatey flavor and balances out the sweetness. It is not overly sweet. It's absolutely delicious. Easily the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever made. And it might be the best chocolate chip cookie I've ever had. So very lovely. And I think the key part of this is the amount of chocolate to cookie dough. As I said before, it's visually, it seemed to be almost a 1-to-1 ratio of chocolate to cookie dough. So if you like really chocolatey cookies, if you like a crisp exterior with a tender middle, with lots of layering of chocolate and dough, and a little tinge of salt, and a lovely caramelized buttery flavor, then easily these cookies are the one for you. And here's what the cookies look like after a full 72 hours. Absolutely gorgeous, even more golden, even more poofy, just lovely. Crisp exterior, chewy interior. And if you want to make your cookies perfectly round, you can invert a bowl or a large cup over your warm cookies and then give them a little swizzle. Nice little rotate, and you'll get the most perfectly round cookies ever. Delicious. The best chocolate chip cookie recipe yet. Alrighty, my lovelies, thanks as always for joining me. I hope you enjoyed that one. I hope you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. I love hearing from you. Like this video, subscribe, and I shall see you in the next one. Toodaloo. Take care. Bye. I'm just gonna do it, the whole thing. So good.